an interesting opponent because he's one of those guys who really, you know, gets his kids off, you know, talking big and talking about you and creating that kind of animosity. I think you've been at this for so long that this is not something that seems to affect you that much. But are you like following any of it? Do you catch wind of it? Do you even find it like kind of amusing to an extent?
Yeah, I really don't follow that, you know, especially when it's getting near to the fight, because my approach of the fight is never like being like that. So for me, it kind of doesn't matter. And my experience says, you know, don't worry about that and don't follow and don't feed that. And for me, it's fight's more like a strategy. It's not emotion. And I know he's probably doing that because for him, fight is emotional. It's more emotional, and he needs to, you know, put this burning on his soul. But you know, for me, it works different, and that's the way that I am.
And so, talking a little bit about him as an opponent, I think it's a matchup that a lot of people are saying is kind of unfavorable to you because of his wrestling game and how he's looked recently. How do you assess him? Like, when they offered you him as an opponent, what did you see that you thought, well, this is how I can beat him? Like, how have you prepared for him?
Yeah, the mainly thing for me to accept this fight is that the fight was in São Paulo, and I really want to fight here in my hometown. But you know, I've been, like you said, I've been just in the UFC 10 years. The last October 20th was, you know, was 10 years. My first fight was in 2007, October 20th, UFC 77. And so many times I heard this is not a good matchup for you, and so many times I won, that, you know, I really don't care about that.
But how do you, so break him down and like a little bit for me, how do you feel like your game matches up against his?
I think he's a great wrestler for sure, that's for sure, you know, he has a lot of credentials. And he adapts well his wrestling for MMA, he's doing well. He's proving that, you know, and he deserved this fight for sure. But, you know, I think my gameplay is very bad for anyone in the weight class. And I think what he's doing now, I've been doing for a longer time.
You did mention in your last fight that one big part of your camp is traveling to the US to train wrestling there. Were you able to get that, to do that this time?
Yeah, this time I did. Yeah, this time I did. I had more time to prepare. The Woodley fight, I had just 1 month, so it was impossible to do that. But the last 9 camps, including Woodley fight, and this fight, you know, I was able to, in 8 of those fights, I was able to go to New Jersey and train with the guys at Edge Hoboken.
You did say that you really wanted to fight here in São Paulo, but I think people were a bit surprised about your quick turnaround because you've been fighting a lot, and then you took that fight with Woodley on short notice, and then wow, he's at it again. Did you take a second to think about it? Was that ever a concern, like, wow, maybe this is too fast?
You know, I'm 39 now, 39 years old, and I'm feeling the best shape of my life, technically and in terms of conditioning. So I need to use this time that I still have. I don't know how long I will, you know, be in such a good, you know, performance. How long I will be able to hold this performance. So, you know, I want to keep fighting and enjoy these last, you know, years or last fights of my life.
Do you already have, you know, you say you don't know how long you already, and you have other things, right, outside of fighting. That's the thing, you already have other, you have your gym, you have your family. Do you have it in your mind, like, sort of, some people set plans, like, 5 years from now, or are you just not, as long as I can keep training?
No, of course I have plans, but they are not, I don't let them play a big role in my mind now, because of course my focus is to fight. But you know, I'm step by step I started transitioning. I'm trying to build better my affiliate schools in Brazil and outside Brazil, and also the seminars that I always been doing, but you know, I want to keep doing. And I did some things for the TV and maybe something that I can do in the future. And we have a new project, but it's a secret now, with TV and with the UFC. So there's many things going on, and the most important is like I keep the focus on fighting, but I need, you know, slowly do the transition, and I think that's the time.
And we were just talking about how active you've been in the past few months, and you just said it yourself, you're 39, when you have much younger fighters who aren't able to do quick turnarounds, who are consistently getting injured. I mean, do you think it's training, just the way you fight? How are you able to like stay in one piece for so long?
Yeah, this is a very tough sport, and you know, the training is very tough, but I think it's all together. I think it's my body, you know, that is a little bit different, and I think training is much more intelligent now, and since Eduardo has been my head coach, we've been improving a lot the way that we're training, so smarter and smarter every camp, and that's helping. And lucky also to don't get injury all the time. And I think, you know, eating better that I used to do, you know, like in terms of nutrition, you know, think more about my health, not just about fighting, not just about cutting weight for the fight and then come back really have, but you know, be constant in everything that I do, be constant in training, in nutrition, in mindset. I think if you keep consistent, that's will happen. That will help you in the long term, and I think that's what is happening now.
You're coming off a loss, a major loss, you'd say, that also snapped a big streak, right? Mm-hmm. Right after the fight, you went to the press conference and you talked to everyone, and you were like super classy about it and talked to them. You didn't seem broken or deterred at any point. But at the same time, I mean, it must have been kind of an impact for you. Of course, yeah. How was it just emotionally dealing with that loss and just like reshaping your head and getting back in the game? Like, how did you deal with that?
Yeah, a loss is always really tough. But one thing that I have peace of mind is that in that 1 month that they gave to you to prepare, we did our best that we ever did. So we made some changes that really worked. We made everything to be at our best. And I did my best in that day. So, like I said, consistent, not just with the nutrition side or training side, but also with the mindset. And before I would think, like many years ago, like, oh, that's bad, it's a shit thing, you know, I just lost a title fight. But now I learn how to value things that I did, even if didn't come, the outcome was not what I want, of course. You know, there's no reason to be all broke because I did my best, I came there, and it's just, you know, lift your head and keep going and fight again and try to go again to the same spot.
How long did it take you to get back to the gym, for instance?
After that, I think always like around 2 weeks, you know, 2 weeks resting, and then I come back lifting some weights, do some easy training.
And we all know, like, it was a kind of a hard road for you to get there, and a frustrating one that at some point had you thinking, I'm not even going to fuss too much about title shots because you don't want to get like disappointed.
Exactly.
Now that it's done, you've had it, but I would assume that you want to have that shot again.
Oh, for sure, yeah, of course. That's why I keep fighting, you know. I say nowadays I fight not just to get the belt, you know. I think I have a mission much bigger than that, and I said that before, like, which is spread one martial art, you know, spread Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and try to bring to the biggest number of people that I can, because, you know, I saw so many lives changing with, you know, when they go to the academy training and all around the world. So for me, that's the nicest thing. That's the main goal. And the other thing that brings me a lot of joy is to go to the academy and training every day. So I love to train, I love to learn. I just addict to learn. I want to learn everything. Now, you know, I just put Duolingo in my iPhone and I'm learning some French because I said, okay, I want to learn one more language, and I want to learn music, you know, I'm learning some guitar. I'm just addicted to learn. That's something that brings me a lot of happiness. It's the same with MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. So mission and joy together is bigger than just, you know, be a champion. But be a champion for sure is the reason, is one of the main reasons, not the only one, but one of the main reasons that I keep fighting. So, but it's not the only reason.
And a little bit along those lines, I think Colby has made it pretty clear that if he wins, like, he thinks he needs a tyrant and whatever. Do you even think about what beating him here means? You know, what you can ask for, what you can want. Are you even thinking about it at this point?
No, not right now. Maybe Saturday after the fight I will think about that, but right now I want to clean my mind, you know, as much as possible. And of course Colby is saying that because, you know, it's the way that he should do, you know. He want to be a champion like I do, and it's fair that he asks for that. There's nothing wrong with that. But in my side, I just, you know, want to give the best performance on Saturday and hopefully win the fight.
You've made it clear that fighting in front of your home crowd is really important to you, and it's something that carries weight. So do you even think about, like, oh, getting a finish in front of my crowd would be extra special? Like, are you even thinking about that? Like, does the taste of victory, is it better when you're fighting in front of your home crowd? And do you, I mean, you've always been very pragmatic, not that you don't want the finish, but you've always been very win-focused. Are you thinking about the finish here?
I think with the experience you learn that doesn't matter what you think, the desire don't make the fight. So if you really desire to finish, sometimes that just don't happen, and does it change if you really desire? You're gonna be more likely to finish the fight or to submit the fight. I think the most important is go there with the game plan, and finish or not hang out or something like that will be a consequence. Because there was fights that I was really, you know, thinking, oh no, I need to put a great show, like Jake Shields' fight, and I start well, and then suddenly all that pressure to put a great show turn against me, so I don't let my mind play these tricks anymore. You know, I know that it doesn't matter what your mind tells you. There is nothing that you can do but go there and fight.